Hello friends, today again we are going to learn a new poem from Unit 2, 2.3, The Twins, which is composed by Henry Sambrook Lee. We shall learn this poem according to the stanza. Here is the first stanza. In form and feature, face and limb, I grew so like my brother, that folks got taking me for him, and each for one another. It puzzled all our kith and kin, it reached a fearful pitch. For one of us was born a twin, yet not a soul knew which. The narrator of this poem is one of a pair of twins. He tells us that right from the birth, he and his brother were so similar in form and feature, in face and limb, that this resemblance confused people. He says, the resemblance was so close that people began mistaking one for the other. His relatives, his friends were always confused, and at some times the confusion reached a very high level, a very high pitch. It was certain that one of them was born a twin, but no one knew for sure which of them was it. मित्रांनो, आपल्याला ही जी कविता दिलेली आहे, ही कविता दोन जुळ्या भावांपैकी एका मुलाचं मनोगत आहे. या ठिकाणी कवीने जुळेपणामुळे आपल्या आयुष्यात घडलेल्या गमती जमतींविषयी काहीशा विनोदी तर काहीशा व्यंगात्मक पद्धतीने आपले अनुभव आपल्या समोर मांडलेले आहेत. आपल्याला सुद्धा आपल्या आजूबाजूला अशा प्रकारची काही जुळे मुलं किंवा मुली दिसत असतील किंवा आपल्या बरोबर शिकत असतील. त्यांना पाहून सुद्धा त्यांच्या जीवनात अशा काही गमती जमती घडत असतील असं आपल्याला निश्चितच वाटेल. कवी म्हणतोय, एकसारखा बांधा, एकसारखी चेहरेपट्टी, मी आणि माझा भाऊ, जे जुळा भाऊ, आम्हा दोघांमध्ये अगदी किंचितही तुसभरही फरक नाही. कवीचं असं म्हणणं आहे की लोक मला तो समजत आणि त्याला मी. केवळ नातेवाईकच नाही तर त्यांचे मित्रमैत्रिणी सुद्धा नेहमी सारखे गोंधळलेले असायचे. त्यांच्यातला नेमका तो कोणता? कधी कधी तर हा गोंधळ फार टोकाला जाई. आमच्या मधला एक जण जुळा म्हणून जन्मला, पण तो कोण आहे हे कोणालाच सांगता येत नसे. The second stanza. One day, to make the matter worse, before our names were mixed, as we were being washed by nurse, we got completely mixed. And thus, you see, by fate's decree, or rather nurse whim, my brother John got christened me and I got christened him. The poet says that one day, just before their naming ceremony, when they were being washed by their nurse, they got interchanged. Thus, it was either due to that nurse mistake or because the fate has decided something else for them. So, they got mixed. The name which was decided for the narrator was given to his brother as John, and his name was given to the narrator. बघा, कवीचं असं म्हणणं आहे की कहर फक्त मित्रमैत्रिणी किंवा त्याच्या नातेवाईकांमध्येच झाला नाही तर दैवाने सुद्धा कहर केला. एके दिवशी ज्यावेळेस त्यांचं बारसं होतं त्या दिवशी त्यांची नर्स त्यांना आंघोळ घालत होती आणि त्या आंघोळ घालता घालता तिने त्यांची अदलाबदल केली. आता नर्सबाईंचा गोंधळ म्हणा किंवा त्यांच्या नशिबाचा खेळ म्हणा, पण जे नाव कवीसाठी ठेवण्यात आलेलं होतं ते कवीसाठी ठेवण्यात आलेलं नाव त्याच्या भावाला आणि त्याच्या भावाचं नाव मात्र कवीला देण्यात आलं. The next stanza. This fatal likeness even dogged my footsteps when at school, and I was always getting flogged, for John turned out a fool. I put this question fruitlessly to everyone I knew. What would you do if you were me to prove that you were you? Now in these lines, the narrator says that the likeness had very bad and serious effects and followed the two like a shadow all through their lives. This happened not only at their house but also in school. He tells that at school, the narrator was often punished because of the mistakes that were done or made by his brother. The narrator knows that he will not get the answer of the question, yet he wanted to ask that question to everyone. And the question is that what he would do in order to prove his identity if he were in his place. बघा मित्रांनो, आता या ठिकाणी केवळ घरीच नाही, मित्रमैत्रिणींमध्ये नाही, नातेवाईकांमध्ये नाही, तर शाळेमध्ये सुद्धा या जुळेपणामुळे कवीला बऱ्याचशा गोष्टींना तोंड द्यावं लागलेलं आहे. शाळेत गेल्यानंतर जॉन उपद्व्याप करीत असे आणि मार मात्र कवीला बसत असे. कवीला माहितीये की आपण हा प्रश्न विचारणं व्यर्थ आहे, आपल्याला उत्तर मिळणार नाही, तरी सुद्धा तो प्रश्न विचारतोय, माझ्या जागी जर तुम्ही असता तर तुम्ही तुम्हीच आहात हे पटवून देण्यासाठी काय बरं केले असते. The next stanza. Our close resemblance turned the tide of my domestic life, for somehow my intended bride became my brother's wife. In fact, year after year the same absurd mistakes went on, and when I died, the neighbours came and buried brother John. Now, the exaggeration went to its point in the last stanza. The poet says that this similarity, this resemblance affected his domestic life too. He tells us that the girl he intended to marry became his brother's wife. And year after year, the same absurd mistakes took place in his life. He tells us that when the narrator died, the neighbors came and they buried his brother John, mistaking him for the narrator himself. बघा, कवी म्हणतोय की त्यांच्यातल्या या अगदी निकटच्या साम्यामुळे त्याला आयुष्यभर त्या ठिकाणी बऱ्याचशा गोष्टींना तोंड द्यावं लागलाय. त्याच्या खाजगी जीवनाला सुद्धा याच्यामुळे कलाटणी मिळालेली आहे. ज्या मुलीशी कवीचा विवाह ठरलेला होता, जी त्या कवीची वधू बनणार होती, ती त्याच्या भावाची पत्नी बनली. असंच वर्षानुवर्षे विचित्र अशा घटना, विचित्र अशा घडामोडी, विचित्र अशा गमती जमती कवीच्या बाबतीमध्ये घडत होत्या. आणि शेवटी तर अगदी हद्दच झाली. कवी म्हणतोय, मरण पावलो मी, पण शेजारी आले आणि त्यांनी मात्र मी समजून माझ्या भावाला जॉनलाच दफन केले. Now here the poem ends, but it makes us laugh due to the exaggeration, as well as the funny incidences that are told by the poet. Thank you.